Here's a breakdown of the latest coaching and executive changes across the league, corresponding interviews, requested and scheduled, and rumored candidates for the 2024 hiring cycle. HC Frank Reich was fired on November 27 after going 1-10 to start the season. Reich was in his first season in Carolina. GM Scott Fitterer was fired on January 8 after the Panthers failed to make the postseason in his 3 seasons at the helm. Fitterer notably made the trade with the Chicago Bears in the 2023 offseason to land the number 1 overall pick in last year's draft, giving up the pick that eventually turned into the No. 1 overall pick in 2024 as part of the deal. Hired, Dan Morgan is being hired as the team's next general manager, the Panthers announced on January 22. Morgan, who played with the Panthers for 7 seasons, has worked as Carolina's assistant general manager since 2021. He previously worked his way up the ranks of the Seahawks front office, before serving as the Bills' director of player personnel for 3 years 2018-20. OC Luke Getsy was fired on January 10, along with QB's coach Andrew Yanako and WR's coach Tyke Tolbert. Hired, per NFL Media, the Bears are working to hire Shane Waldron as their offensive coordinator. OC Alex Van Pelt was let go by the team on January 17. It's a bit of a surprise move. Van Pelt worked for an offensive-minded coach in Kevin Stefanski, but he helped oversee a resurgence in 2023. Defensive coordinator Mike Caldwell was fired January 8, along with most of his staff on that side of the ball, Fox Sports' Greg Auman first reported. Hired, the Jaguars are working to hire Falcons DC Ryan Nielsen to the same role, per ESPN. HC Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler were fired on October 31 after the Raiders got off to a 3-5 start. Both were in their second year in Las Vegas. Antonio Pierce went 5-4 during his time as interim head coach and is a candidate for the permanent head coach job. HC Brandon Staley was fired on December 15, a day after the Chargers lost to the Raiders 63-21 in a primetime game. The loss dropped Los Angeles to 5-9 on the season after it made the playoffs a year prior. GM Tom Telesco was also fired on December 15, ending his 11-year tenure with the team. HC or GM Bill Belichick mutually parted ways with the team on January 11 after 24 seasons and 6 Super Bowl titles. Hired, the Patriots promoted linebackers coach Rod Mayoto head coach on January 12, one day after they mutually parted ways with longtime head coach Bill Belichick. DC Wink Martindale resigned from his post with the Giants on January 8. Martindale's decision is a twist from what head coach Brian Daboll told reporters earlier that day, saying he expected the longtime coach to return for a 3rd season in New York. Martindale and Daboll were reportedly at odds earlier in the 2023 season as New York's defense struggled.